Ready.
Set.
Gamecast.
Welcome to Ready Set Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games and bodily functions. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by the Keeper of Organs, Darian.
What?
Wait, Oregon's like the state of Oregon, or like Oregon's like?
Well, considering we're talking about bodily functions,
Well,
yes.
yeah, but I swear it sounded
Actually,
like you
this
said
is bodily
Oregon.
functions.
Whatever, fine. They're bodily. That's
Bodily functions.
I would say that functions is a function of bodies.
What does
What is
any
Keeper
of this mean?
Organs? I don't think I want this title. I'm denouncing this title.
And the boy with a body that just won't stop, Teddy Chinaris.
I don't know about it. I don't know about it at all. But hey, what's up, it's your boy?
So Teddy, how is your body doing?
It's not doing great. It's doing all right, but like, I haven't been working out as much as I should, and I just shoved like 4 pieces of stuffed crust pepperoni Pizza Hut pizza into my face in like 5 minutes before the podcast, and then I drank a whole thing of coffee. So I definitely feel like I got a shit.
I love how you spent that entire sentence looking as far away from your mic as possible.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know
We're
what I'm
talking
saying?
directly away from our people. Darian, how's your body?
My body's great. Thanks for asking.
I went to Captain Marvel earlier and ate popcorn. And
Oh shit!
popcorn always makes me have the body itches where I need to go bathroom and stuff.
Oh,
Body
don't you
itches?
ever call it a body itch ever again in my presence?
I don't understand.
God.
I was trying to think of my fancy term for having to poop real bad, but I couldn't remember it, so I said
itches.
body itch.
God.
You said something weird instead.
Jesus. Oh man.
Speaking of weird, Darian, what have you been playing?
Why is that weird?
I don't know.
That's a pretty normal thing.
I'm
Playing video
immediately
games.
offended.
Speaking of weird. Yo, I'm interested to hear about one of these games on the list. Go ahead.
Which one?
Diablo 3.
Oh, okay. All right.
Where have you been playing that specifically?
On the PC.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't get it on the Switch. One of my friends wants me to get it on the Switch, but I don't want to. So I did play a little bit.
But I
don't want to.
Okay, so the whole thing with that is the only reason I'm playing Diablo 3 is so I can play with David. If I got it on the Switch, we'd also have to get David a Switch and Diablo 3 on the Switch. So it would turn from like a $30 purchase to like a $400 purchase. And it's
You
not
should
worth
already
it.
have a Switch by now. You
Yeah,
know what I
come
mean?
on.
It's 2019. What are you doing?
I have a Switch.
He shouldn't be expected to share. You know what I mean?
Yes.
How are you
Yeah.
gonna play games together?
Exactly.
We play games together on the computer.
Mario's not on the computer. Mario lives on the
I-
Switch.
Don't play Mario.
Mario wants to play with you.
Right after Mario Day, too. It was Mario Day.
When was Mario Day?
Yesterday.
March 10th, because
March 10th?
MAR and then the 10
That's
looks like Mario.
Fucking weird. March 9th is Miku Hatsune Day.
Okay. So games. Darian. Got
You got any games?
All right. I played some Diablo 3, which I
Yep.
don't have a positive or negative opinion about because I played it with people who have already like perfected it and get bored and just do shit to do shit. And we played through the story mode and I have no idea what's going on and we're in the second act. So I don't know anything that's happening and I don't know how to feel about it. Also play Lapex.
Lapex, dude.
I played Lapex. I played some Apex and a little bit of League. And mostly I've been playing a lot of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like a lot.
How's that going?
Really good.
Really good.
How many guardians have you guarded?
Have I guarded?
Yes.
What does that mean?
He's doubling down. Thought about it for a second and like, yes.
It means you saved them from the Dark Lord and guarded them from sadness.
I kill a lot of guardians.
What's the hero guys? What's the good people?
The divine beasts?
Yeah, but like the guys who went into the divine who died there.
The champions?
Champions, that's what I'm thinking of. Why are they called champions and like I don't know. Guardians is a bad name for the enemy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they were originally bad.
Yeah, that's the point. They were supposed to, be guardians.
Guardians used to be good, just like the divine beasts.
It's an important lesson about how machines are bad and we should never trust them and destroy your microwave.
No, because you get control of them.
Well, no, the divine beasts, the guardians are always bad.
Oh. Well,
because
fine.
The guardians were originally supposed to just be automated turrets, basically, and keep Ganon at bay. And then Ganon was just like, haha, no, they kill you now. I own them and they kill you. So that's it?
yeah. Yep. I've gotten 3 of the divine beasts, and I have the master sword already.
That was a leap that your cat just did at you.
It was time for him to be on the lap.
Teddy, how many divine beasts have you gotten?
0. My entire
Wow,
life.
you suck.
Have you played it?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Just running around, man.
And you didn't get any divine beasts?
No.
I don't believe you.
No. I played that game for like 20 hours and I never came across the divine beasts.
Came across?
Well, I never went to, you know what I mean.
Did you vote for it when we did Game of the Year that year?
No.
Okay.
I believe I was on the side of Horizon. Actually, I don't remember. I think eventually I was like convinced, but I came into that wanting Horizon.
I think it came down to PUBG or Zelda was the two like contenders, and I decided I made the.
Yeah, and Bunny was pissed because he hated Breath of the Wild.
Oh, poor Bunny.
Okay, so what have you been playing since you've not been getting them divine beasts?
All sorts of shit, but like mainly, it depends. I don't know. I've split this all kind of evenly. Like I've been back to streaming. It's been great. I've been able to play video games again, like at least 3 times a week. It's been good. Twitch.tv/TeddyChinaris. And I've been hopping into Destiny 2 a little bit, but I played that more when like the new season stuff launched last week. But I played more Destiny like the week before when the new season stuff wasn't there. And I've only played like the new season stuff for like a second. So I don't know enough about it to speak on it. I played a good bit of Apex with The Future is Near and Super Killer Bunny, who we were just talking about. They're great, and we've gotten a bunch of wins, and it was really fun. And played a little bit of Overwatch the other day, and I've been playing Halo 5 again. I love Halo 5's Arena. It's so fucking good. It's so good. That is a game, dude. I think that is like has to be one of my top 5 favorite video games of all time because of how much I love the multiplayer arena. Like I will go back to it a year later and be like, man, I really miss this, and play it for like months. It's still great. But yeah, that's basically it, I think.
I bought an Xbox recently. I should try this Halo game you keep talking about.
Do you have Game Pass?
Yes.
Then have you ever played a Halo?
I think I played 2.
Oh. Well, if you want, go through all of them for the story because you have Master Chief Collection and Halo 5. Like the Game Pass will give you both of them. And the Halo 5 multiplayer arena is just so good. You can just hop right in there, It's a good time. So, yeah, you should.
I probably won't because I've been too busy being a cowboy Because after the holidays got done, things slowed down, and then Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and I finished that up. I've been looking at, like, the new games have been coming out, and none of them. I thought I was going to be playing Anthem right now, but that's not happening because that is a garbage game.
Well, have you played it?
No, I played the beta. I played the beta, and my experience with the beta was
I know it's real bad. I know there's all sorts of issues, but I am very hesitant to call it a garbage game. It is a solid 7 from everywhere I've seen.
We will talk about exactly how bad that game is in a news story.
I know it's bad. There's a problem.
It's a problem.
There's a lot of problems with that game right now.
There are a lot of technical problems with that game, but when take the tech problems out of it, the game itself is a solid 7.
If you take all the garbage out of the trash can, it's great.
The tech problems is different from the gameplay mechanics. There are different discussions.
Anyway.
I don't have Anthem. I don't actually plan on playing it anytime soon, but Destiny 1 was in a very similar place. Not with the tech issues, but with the quality of the game and how people felt about it way back in the day.
Not with the thing that's worse than anything the game could possibly offer.
It's real bad. I'm just trying to talk about the game because I know the tech issues are going to be fixed.
I don't care what the game can do.
I know about the tech issues, but just playing the game when I played the beta, like I didn't like the way it handled. I didn't like the way they did the beta was so bad. Like it had too much running around. They should have put you in some kind of like big, like just fly around, like shoot the stuff, like almost like a horde mode thing where you can really like try out stuff and go big, but it had you like running around, and it had a puzzle. It had a raid a raid style puzzle like Destiny, where you have to like talk to each other and figure it out at the end of the mission in the beta. And literally people kept like leaving because people were just switching the things because you had no idea what to do. And maybe if we cooperated, if we had voice chat, we might be able to do it. But like nobody wants to do voice chat with a bunch of randoms in a game you're just trying out in a beta. So it's like, it was a bad decisions there.
Yeah, I would love to play Division 2 on Friday. That comes out on Friday. I do not have the money though.
I thought it was already out. Maybe it's
out for like early access, like content creators and whatnot. I think they gave a bunch of content creators early access, but it's out on Friday. It's out on the 15th.
Anyway, I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2. That was a long way to get to the point of playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Because I've had it for a while. My brother had an extra copy that I bought off of him when the game came out, and I had like started it, but it was like, oh, I'm too busy. There's other games, and now there's nothing else I want to play. And I am sad I had not gotten to it sooner because I am loving my time with it. Though there's just so much to do, and just exploring the world is so interesting. It takes a long time to unlock fast travel, and fast travel is only one way. Like you can go from camp to one of these predetermined locations, and then like you'll have to ride back the other way. It is a slow game, but whenever you're riding to a destination, there is so many things that can happen that like make your ride interesting. Like there's been times that I've been riding to a mission, and suddenly people tried to rob me, and then I had to deal with that. Or maybe there was one point I was just riding down this path, and this guy had a chick tied up on the back of his horse, and she was like screaming for help. And I like asked my girlfriend, I was like, should I do something about that? And she's like, yeah. So I turn around. I didn't like, there's plenty of times that like you'll be riding on a path and like it'll be bounty hunters taking someone to jail, and they'll be like, oh, it wasn't me, blah blah blah. So it's like I don't really know who to side with here. Like maybe it was a bounty. So I just turned around and I ended up grabbing my lasso and roping the guy and just tying him up. And so I had both of them tied up, and I was like, I guess I'll untie her. And she's like, oh, thanks. Like, he was going to do these horrible things to me. And I was like, oh, cool. I guess I saved her from kidnapping. And then I was like, well, I don't really know what to do with him. Like, I have him tied up. So, like, just shooting him feels like executing the dude. So I just left him in the middle of the road. And then, like, a cart came along and they were like, come on, what's taking so long? And I just rode off while this guy was just left there. But there's so many cool, like, there's bounties, there's poker. I got into like a 3-hour poker game, like real time, because like the final guy was so good at poker that I had to just like slowly drain him of money. And it came down, like, each hand I was like, okay, I'm gonna go big, but like, if I think I have something, but if he always seemed to have just a little bit better hand than me, and it took forever to wipe him out. Well, I think where this game excels is the characters. That there's so many people in the crew, and it keeps adding people as you go to new areas. They're like, oh, you got caught by the cops, and now we're rescuing you, like, and we're adding another person to the crew. And every time you go back to the base, you're having these cool conversations with the characters, but also you're just kind of walking around and they're talking to each other. They're having their own stories. Everyone seems to have their own thing going on, and Arthur's just like there. Many games, like, you'll see, and it's like everyone's just there for the character. They're like give you a mission or whatever. But these people seem to have their own thing going on, and so does Arthur, and the world feels so alive and interesting.
Yeah.
I seriously think it is a great stream game, kind of, because the game is so interesting to play. It does have those slow moments, and I think that's what makes it a good stream game, because when you're riding from town to town, it gives you a chance to like talk to Chad and stuff like that. And then you're back in heavy stuff, shooting guys. You got to kind of stay halfway, paying attention, because you will be riding on and suddenly robbers will block the road, surround you, and then you got to be ready to take them down. But that's obviously a rare thing. All these things can happen. They don't always happen. The music is so good, and the world, I will say, how I don't know what they did. The effects, the mist in the trees, the way the fog shines in the light is so beautiful. They have a camera that you can use as an item, and I've spent so much time recently just like taking pictures. If you're watching the video version right now, my background is a picture that I took in game of just like from the camp. The light, there was like a morning fog, and the light was shining through, and I was like, that is so beautiful. I need to get a picture of that. And I ended up doing this several times because the way they do the weather and the lighting is so beautiful. In terms of cons, I will say there's a couple things that kind of annoy me. One of which is how easily you can fail a mission. And it seems like they want you to handle some missions in very specific ways. Where I have failed a mission because a guy will be like, oh, let's go over here. And I was like sitting there like feeding my horse, like, okay, I'm gonna give him a little treat before we leave. And then I just get a mission failed because it's like, you left blah blah blah, and I'm like, I didn't leave him, he left me. He walked over and I was about to go with him, but apparently I took too long, and the game was just like, you lose. I was like, that's stupid. But other than that, I'm trying to think if there's any other complaints I had. I think it's the only two things you really need to know going in, is that it can be a little bit slow at times, and that's mostly just kind of riding from town to town. And during missions, you will be riding from town to town, but the characters will kind of be talking to you and talking about stuff. But a lot of it's slow, but kind of purposeful in that way. And then there's the stupid, like, you'll fail a mission for stupid reasons. Other than that, everything else about this game is amazing. It's beautiful. It feels great. There's so much to do. The world is so interesting. The characters are so interesting. Yeah, it's a great game. Very much recommend it. You can play it for months. I don't know how far into the game I am. as it goes on and I'm having more interactions with the different gang members, I'm loving more and more of it.
Cool.
Another game that I played just before stream, I saw Polygon did a article on the top 5 couch multiplayer games. I had played most of them except for a mobile game called Space Team. And it's a free mobile game that it'll connect to everybody on a Wi-Fi. It'll look for people using the same Wi-Fi, having the app open. It's kind of a game about shouting at each other and trying to like cooperate through the shouting, where everyone will have something on their screen. Well, they'll have a bunch of buttons on their screen, and it'll be like air freshener or space kettle or just like these bizarre things. And you're supposed to be flying a spaceship that's having issues or whatever. And each person will have a command that shows up that'll be like, turn on space kettle. And the other person will be like, turn quartz magoggle to 5.
Gotta get that quartz magoggle turn.
Yeah, so like just me and my girlfriend played it, and so I'm like shouting like, turn quartz magoggle to 5, and she's like, space kettle on. And so we have to figure out like maybe the thing that we're being told to do is on our screen, so we have to like find the button, or maybe it's on their screen and they have to figure out where it is and stuff. And it's kind of this game about like shouting and figuring out the stuff and cooperating. That sometimes there's like asteroid attack, and then we all have to shake our phones. So there's kind of these like cool. It's a really simple, cool party game that like people can just download on their phone. It's I'm pretty sure pretty small because of how simple the game is, and a great game to just be like, hey, want to do some weird game.
Want to do some weird game.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a cool game. Check it out. If you got a friend, just, pop it in and try it sometime.
I wonder what that's like.
Yeah, I don't have friends.
You set me up too well for that one.
I've also been playing more Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. The story, I finished all the story content there is. They seem to be expanding more on the story. Apparently, Japan's ahead of us, because I've seen YouTube videos of like, here's the stuff that's like ahead, which I kind of want to get there on my own, but I have to wait for them to bring that content to us. But in terms of the non-story content, that game is very much pay to win. And that kind of sucks because it has like lots of loot boxes, and it's what's in the loot boxes is actual like, determines how strong you are. And they have they have a lot of stuff that they have PvP, which is based on the stuff from your loot boxes, and they have these PvE, which are ranked, which are like how far, like, oh, you got this far in the Coliseum, and that makes you the like 10,000th player. But if you were the 9,000th player, you would get even better rewards, and then you'd be even stronger for next time because you have better stuff. And they're really trying to feed you into giving them money so that you can do better, so that you can be stronger, so they can do better. And like I joined the subreddit for the Kingdom Hearts Union Cross deal, and it's so much of people just bitching about how pay to win the game is. I'm trying not to spend money with it. I already did give them like $15, but we'll see how long.
Did it bad. I'm trying not to spend money, but I failed already.
But I've already spent $15. I'm trying not to spend money, but I took out a new mortgage on my house, and like it happened so fast.
We'll see how long I stick with the game. I like aspects of it.
Hopefully not until you're bankrupt.
Teddy said he was gonna play again, and then I found out he's in the worst union, so he can't even be in my party.
Yeah, and I also just didn't play.
What's the worst
I opened
union?
it up and I looked at all the menus, and there were a billion things, and I was just like, no.
Overwhelmed.
Darren, have you watched Back Cover?
I mean, yeah.
Okay,
like 2 years ago.
Oh well, the bear Teddy's in the bear guy union, and he's the one who's all like, I don't trust anybody. I'm going to punch all of you.
Mm-hmm. Are you in the unicorn one?
No, I'm in Vooples. I'm in the Fox Girl one, which is always not there's also union rankings each week, and Voople's always number 1.
Great.
The unicorn's always number 2, but
That's sad. Unicorns should be number 1 at all times.
to be fair,
Agreed.
the Vooples, like, of the characters,
Fuck is a Voople?
Fox of
Okay.
yeah. Like, her character is the least shitty because, like, she runs the group that is like, hey, we're gonna save you guys from the war. I'm about running the group that lives. Speaking of Kingdom Hearts, this is the news section. And Kingdom Hearts 3 will add DLC, which will add more difficulty and deepen the story. This is basically content that has been added to previous Kingdom Hearts games in what is Final Mix. Like, they'll basically re-release the game, typically just in Japan, and then maybe those versions will come later to America in a Final Mix version with more content. Series director Tatsuya Nomura said that
Tatsuya
that's his name. You nailed it. I'm so proud of you.
Nomura.
Yep, good.
That's the one.
Oh my god.
He said this time he will be bringing out that kind of content in DLC, both in free and paid DLC. They've already it already shows hints that we'll be getting a critical mode, which is a harder difficulty, as well as they said they will be filling in the gaps in the story, which I'm curious what they plan to do there. Darren, what do you think of this?
I mean, I'm pretty indifferent.
You're the Kingdom Hearts person. What?
Do you hate Kingdom Hearts now?
No, I just don't care about critical mode and
But story.
I mean,
It's gonna deepen.
if they add more
story.
story stuff.
I don't think that they can add enough story to satisfy me and fix my broken heart.
I was told the reason Phil didn't talk in 3. Apparently his Japanese voice actor died, and so they didn't have him talk because of
In
that.
either.
Yeah.
Sure, that makes sense.
But
That's sad.
I would have preferred to just not see him in that case.
Yeah.
Because it was so weird of him
they
just
probably
like...
had him in the game already, and then he died, so they probably like removed scenes instead of remaking all of it.
It's clearly not the last Kingdom Hearts we'll get, and there's a lot of questions of like what's going to be happening in the next Kingdom Hearts, of what we're going to see in terms of Disney worlds. I hope there will be more Hercules world, because that's always been my favorite world. I was a little pissed that it wasn't a proper Coliseum, but hopefully eventually we'll get to see Phil again. That would be something that I would like to see in terms of DLC, is they put in a Coliseum, put in a proper, like, you know, going through the rounds Coliseum. What would you like to see,
I don't care.
Darren? Nothing?
I don't care for the Coliseum. I feel like I'm not like missing anything from previous games, because they hit all my marks.
I would like them to fill in what happened basically during the end cutscene, not the before the epilogue. You know, the one cutscene on the beach, because I feel like they just yada-yada'd a big moment. We can talk about it later, but yeah, there's a thing that I'm like, okay, how do you not tell us what happened there?
We could just say like spoiler territory and then give a guesstimation and talk about it.
Okay, spoiler territory, the next 2 minutes.
All right.
Spoilers starting now.
Oh no, I gotta get out of here for the one day I play all Kingdom Hearts. Omega lol.
Sorry, you can't do that in one day.
So they show like Kyrie's back on the beach. Like, when everybody's on the beach, and then they show Kyrie on the tree, and then Sora's there, but he, like, fades away. So, like, Sora saved Kyrie. They never show that, and apparently Sora died doing so. How did they not? They just yada yada over it.
Teddy, this is why I'm broken. Like,
Damn.
Sora fucking dies, okay?
Wow.
Like, I don't get how they do that without, like, showing it. Like, make it mean something.
I bet that's going to be in the DLC, though. That's probably, hopefully, part of it.
I don't. We'll see. But then he's got a World Ends With You bring himself back, which I need to finish playing that game. That game is...
Did they did that remake, right? That's on the Switch now?
It's on the Switch. It's I don't know, complicated to play. Spoilers over, I guess. Ready?
Yeah.
Darian's broken. Well,
I'm just trying not to cry again.
while Darian tries to fix herself, Teddy, can you tell me about another thing that's broken?
Yeah, let me tell you about Anthem. Definitely something that needs to be fixed. There's many problems with the game, but the biggest issue so far is the fact that Anthem is now breaking consoles. Like, not just crashing to the home screen, but like there are several cases of it straight up, like, it's like when you like straight up unplug your power cord from the wall for your PS4, and then like when it reboots, it has like the like, you know, safe mode kind of thing. But like some of them aren't rebooting. Some of them are getting destroyed, basically. What was EA's so they said, we're aware of a crashing issue some of you have been reporting. We're investigating to ask that you share your crash data reports when prompted. I don't know if they responded to the actual like breaking. I don't know if they have yet.
To my understanding, if you go in and click rebuild database, that will possibly fix it.
Yeah, I've heard that there are some cases where you can fix it, and there are some that it won't turn back on.
Yeah, I would definitely, if you can get to it, click rebuild database before you go buy a new PS4 and throw rocks at EA headquarters.
Yeah.
That is like, people should be, I don't know. I will be curious to see if we see like a lawsuit against EA for that. Like, oh, I played your video game and now you owe me a PS4. I feel like...
Yeah, one of my coworkers came in and was like, "Hey, have you played Anthem?" And I was like, "No, like it's not really on my spectrum."
No, I like my PS4.
Well, no, because then he's like, this is the reason I heard about this. He's like, yeah, apparently it's bricking consoles. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, a buddy of mine, his PlayStation doesn't work anymore. And I was like, what? Like, and are you still playing it? And he's like, oh yeah, I love that game. And I was like, are you fucking crazy?
You're living life on the edge, bro.
What?
I saw Greg Miller tweet a picture of his error message. That like he was talking about how much he loves Anthem, and then he was just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
It is like, people aren't doing anything weird with their PS4. They're just playing a literal video game, and it's wrecking their console.
But yeah, that's basically the news story about Anthem for now.
And now we take our customary 2-minute break while Teddy poops.
No, I'm all right. It's
Teddy
fine.
already pooped, and then
He pooped his pants.
I don't think that's true.
Well,
I think we're all good.
I don't believe you.
Huh.
You know, whenever I poop my pants in Apex, I always tap the ping button to let everyone know. But apparently there's going to be other games that offer the ping system.
Oh my god.
Darian, can you tell me about games with ping?
Sure. Last episode we talked about how Fortnite in an AMA said that they were looking into adding a ping system.
No, respawning.
Or respawning. No, you're right. They were talking about adding respawning, but this time now they've added a ping system. which just to me looks like an act of desperation because obviously Apex is doing way better and they're just trying to be competitive.
Teddy's disagreeing? I don't know.
No, I don't have the actual numbers, but I would be shocked. I know how well Apex is doing, right? Like, didn't it cross 50 million players?
Yeah.
Yeah, 50 million's the last like milestone we know of. Fortnite, I still has to be more players than Apex.
I mean,
it has to be.
Fortnite has the just advantage of it's on everything. You can play it
Yeah,
on your
and
phone.
also it's just been going for so long.
That too.
It's like I'm curious as to the numbers, but I know that Apex is doing great, but the people being like, oh, Fortnite's dead, Apex is killing it. No, there's no fucking way. It's not gonna happen.
I do think we're seeing Fortnite waning. And
oh yeah, for sure, at least a bit. Absolutely.
Here's some numbers.
Go ahead.
It only took Apex 30 days to pull in 50 million players. It took Fortnite 100 days to hit 45 million.
Yeah. Apex grew to the level that Fortnite did, but faster.
Right. So it's not, I mean, I don't think it's going to eliminate Fortnite by any means, but now there's like a healthy competition for Fortnite.
Yeah.
I think Fortnite helped pave the way for Apex's success. That, like, you know, people who were big Fortnite people were like, oh, there's this other thing that is supposed to be like Fortnite but better. You know, like it kind of, people might have been getting tired of Fortnite over and over and were like, oh, here's something new to try. So I think it
right now, just throwing up the Twitch browse page, Fortnite is at number 1 with 133,000, and then League, and then GTA 5, and then Just Chatting, and then Apex with 75,000.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like, yeah, it's people paint the picture like Fortnite is going away and Apex is taking over. Like, Apex is doing really good, but like Fortnite was at such a level that, like, I don't know if it's gonna. I'm sure it's gonna go down for a while, but it's gonna take it a while to really go down.
I do think that Fortnite will have to improve upon their game to like stay on top, and for the same that Apex needs to keep pushing, like improving upon their game to try and take that spot. If either of them like stops, then they're going to lose the war. But as long as both of them keep trying to improve, we could see them neck and neck in a year's time.
Yeah.
The way they are handling it does seem like Fortnite seems to be leaning more on gimmicks with their like the Marshmallow concert and apparently a Weezer area they added to the world.
Yeah, I don't know. But they are, I mean, it's not like they're doing anything different than they normally do to try and mix it up, where they change the map every season and all the... I think they're changing like a bunch of the challenges and whatnot. Like the battle pass is still a thing and people still like it. Like, Fortnite is one of those things that I feel bad talking about because that community is like, it's like so entrenched that there are so many details in there that like I feel like I have to be a Fortnite player to really talk about what's going on, right? Like it's hard to, like, if I wanted to talk about the state of Elder Scrolls Online right now, I couldn't. But like, I'm sure somebody who plays ESO constantly could be like, yeah, this patch just came out, community's mad about this, blah, blah, blah. I feel like that's how it is with Fortnite. Like, people are happy and mad about very specific things when they're in the weeds, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, I think anytime you get a new game in that same genre, you will see people jump to the next the next big one, because obviously there's always new battle royales, but Apex is the new top contender. They're the one who improved upon the formula instead of just being like, we did Fortnite again, come play ours.
Apex is so good, man. Apex is so much fun.
We're Fortnite, but you cast spells instead of shoot guns. Yeah, but speaking of new games in the same genre, Niantic has revealed Harry Potter Wizards Unite. If you are unfamiliar, Niantic is the people who made Pokemon Go. And they are now making a Harry Potter style alternate reality game, a Pokemon style game.
haven't we heard about this for a while?
There was vague stuff. We've never actually known what the game was going to be like until now.
Okay.
We've gotten a detail of like, here's what's happening. I will read from Polygon's article about the story of this game. A calamity has befallen the wizarding world, causing artifacts, creatures, people, and even memories to mysteriously appear in the Muggle world. Witches and wizards from across the globe must come together to solve the mystery of the calamity, overcome the confounding chaotic magic that surrounds these foundables, and return them to their rightful place, keeping them safe from Muggle eyes. Your journey begins as a new recruit of the Statute of Secrecy Task Force, established by the Ministry of Magic and the International Confederation of Wizards for the purpose of investigating and containing the calamity.
So this is Breath of the Wild.
Yes, that's the first game that ever used the words the calamity.
Yeah.
It was not in Bastion, the very good Supergiant
No,
game.
that game's not real.
Okay.
This is a fake video game.
Anybody who
Game's
claims
not
to have
real.
ever played Bastion is a liar.
Yep.
Oh my god. It's like
So-
flat earthers.
It seems that these weird like artifacts, I guess, are supposed to be like the Pokemon, and to catch them you need to do spells to stop the chaotic magic that's brought them. Kind of sounds dumb. I will it won't just be this is also from the Polygon article. Some of this sounds cool. It won't just be Muggle mainstays like Starbucks and that bank outside your office, though. Players will have the chance to experience AR versions of actual Harry Potter locations like Ollivander's Wand Shop. This game, like, of the stuff, all the graphics seem to show AR stuff. It seems like this is going to be a very AR heavy experience. We'll have to see if they're going to let you play, with AR turned off. But this part seems kind of cool. The game will also launch with multiplayer wizarding challenges that allow friends to group up and take on Death Eaters, Dementors, and other magical villains. It's like trainer battles in a sense, although friends will work together, not against each other. Everybody will also be able to choose a magical profession on top of their task force duties to aid them in these challenges, which almost makes it sound like it's like class-based. Like you could be like the healer or the whatever as part of this co-op thing. I can see Harry Potter fans who are aware of the Pokemon Go, like who probably Pokemon Go people who are into Harry Potter will try this, but the way it's laid out does not seem like the Harry Potter thing works in the same way that, like, they're basically trying to slap Harry Potter on Pokemon and it doesn't seem good.
No. Yeah, I don't know. You can definitely get people trying it if there's any IP that like could compete with Pokemon for like the most known kind of thing. Harry Potter is one of them, but you have to have a good game for sure. But then again, Pokemon Go didn't really start as a very good game. But like, I don't know. We'll see how many people stick around. I'm sure it'll have like a dedicated community.
I guess it just depends on how fully featured the launch is and stuff. I will be curious of how they does this have competitive at all, or is this all about cooperative? Or like, it kind of seems like everybody's working for the task force. I kind of thought that you'd pick like your Harry Potter house, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, blah, blah, blah. But it kind of seems like you're all just kind of teaming up, which I think maybe will help this. If like Pokemon Go is very much about we're fighting each other, we're on different teams. Whereas if you can go, you play Harry Potter, let's like fight Dementors together, and there's never a question of which team you're on, might help this game out. But you know what's not going to help the Vita? anything because it's dead.
anything, dude. So Sony is ending production on the PlayStation Vita effective today. This was an article written on March 2nd, so 2 Saturdays ago. The Vita is officially gone. It's over. It's not being made. It's not in production anymore. The games stopped being in production what was it? A while ago at this point. Like, they stopped making games. Yeah, Sony itself stopped making games for the Vita in 2015. And in 2018 ended the production of physical media games for the device. February was also the last month that the PlayStation Plus subscription service gave out games for the platform. So yeah, also, that's kind of somewhat news. I don't know if we talked about that last week. I mean, we talked about it a long time ago when they announced it, but March, this month, is the first month that PlayStation Plus is only giving away PS4 games. So this month is Modern Warfare Remastered and The Witness. And no PS3 or Vita games. That is done now. But yeah, rest in peace, Vita. I love my Vita so much. I could turn that thing on and still have an awesome library of games. I do every now and then. But it is, it's mostly now down to my Switch, and my Vita's over there under my couch.
Oof.
Yeah.
Under your couch?
Yeah, my 3DS is also under there. I don't have many
What
places
the
to put
fuck?
things. I have a very small apartment. So.
Are you kidding me? This cat.
It turned and looked at you like, the fuck?
He just fucking he was batting at my door, paws under it, begging me to let him back in. So I do. And what does he do? He plants himself in full view of the stream to lick his crotch. Fuck you, dude.
You know, he wanted.
You're so rude. You can do that anywhere.
He wanted an audience.
Come in here. You're such a dick. Oh, my cat's an asshole.
He showed his asshole, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, the Vita's dead, everybody. Rest in peace. Put it on a boat, send it out into the water, shoot a flaming arrow at the boat, Viking funeral it out of here. And just buy a Vita. Play a bunch of games.
If you're worried about not being able to do remote play for your PS4 anymore now that you can't get a Vita, don't worry about it, because now you'll be able to play it on your iOS device.
There we go.
Gross.
Teddy was really excited about that transition.
I was so excited about that transition. That was great.
Sony has announced and made available the ability to play remote play via a iOS app, which will be available both on iPhones and iPads. In their recent update, let me see if I can find the exact number. 6.50 will let you play PS4 on your iPhone and iPad. Basically, you'll have your controls as touch on the screen. There's many games that probably you wouldn't want to do this with, but for slower games, definitely. And I think we're seeing Sony support more and more remote play. Obviously, with their primary, they're not going to try and go no, you gotta have a Vita, because you can't anymore. But you can already remote play to your PC. Now you're being able to do it to your phone. Yeah, I guess as long as you have a PS4 in your house, you can play it wherever you want to, basically. Which I think is very good for the PS4 and PS4 owners. Teddy, do you think you're going to try it out?
No, because I have tried remote play on the PC app and on my Vita multiple times for many years in different networks. When I lived at my house in Nolensville, and when I live here at this apartment, I've tried it with different PS4s and it never works well. I have bad luck with it.
Yeah, remote play sucks.
Maybe it's just you, Teddy. Maybe it's just you.
Yeah.
No, I can't get remote play to work either.
I've gotten it to work a little, but not much.
What kind of games do you try and do remote play?
I don't know. I hopped on it and just opened up a bunch of them and whatnot. But like, it's not even just that it's bad for like specific games. Like, it just like in the menu, like it would be pixelated and it just wasn't. And then it would like disconnect after 5 minutes or.
I would maybe play some like Stardew or like a turn-based RPG on it.
But now we have the Switch, so like.
Yeah, no, there's no need for it.
You know what I mean?
What's great about remote play is that like you don't have to worry about transferring your saves or anything because you're literally playing off your PS4, which is nice. But there's definitely the Switch is makes, if the game's available on the Switch, that's honestly like the better platform to play it on, because then you can just dock it and undock it and do everything you want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like it to work really well just for the fact of I don't have to worry about transferring my saves. But I have a PS4 in every room right now. I have one in the living room, one in the bedroom, one in my office. And what I'll often do is like, I want to play Red Dead in the bedroom. I'll just upload my save to the cloud, download it in whatever room, and then pick up playing there. Which is nice that with the cloud saves to be able to do that. Well, if you're not wanting to play games on your cell phone and would rather play on your Vita, maybe you'll be able to play some VR there too.
Or on your Switch, not your Vita.
Yeah.
The Vita's dead.
Dang. I almost nailed that transition.
Let me stress that.
On your Switch.
Dang.
You won't be able to plug your Vita into some cardboard, but you will
Everybody
with the Switch.
Throw your Vitas into a fire.
No. Mine's sitting in a drawer safely for the market to rise and sell it for $20,000.
Wow.
So Nintendo is bringing out some new Nintendo Labo kits, which, if you've forgotten, is the cardboard kits that you build yourself, and they're everything from like fishing rods to like robot suits. These ones are designed to turn your Nintendo Switch into a VR headset, which I will say, I have seen Facebook ads that are like, do VR with your Switch, and it's like, no, there's no VR games for the Switch. Why would you do that? But now there technically are. But these are Toy-Con projects that will let you create things like a set of VR goggles, a rocket launcher with blaster, a camera, a bird, a wind pedal, and an elephant. And you slide in your Switch and look through it. It's kind of like the cell phone VR, if anyone's ever gotten those cheap like holders that you just put your cell phone in and then you can like look around in VR. It's nothing compared to an actual VR headset like the PlayStation VR or the very good Vive, which is the best one, and everyone should support the good one.
Shots fired.
It's definitely interesting to see like VR go to the Switch, and this is very like niche weird thing. And I saw some people be like, VR on a 720 screen, are you crazy? It's gonna look horrible. But if they're aware of that and design around it, and this is kind of a goofy thing that you're probably not expecting greatness from. I think it's kind of fun and cool, and for people who are into it, it's cool.
Yeah, pretty neat.
The starter kit, including VR hardware and Blaster Toy-Con, will be $40. To complement the starter kit, the Nintendo released 2 expansion packs for $20 each, which will include the elephant and the camera, and the other one, which will include the wind pedal and bird. I'm vaguely interested in Toy-Con. If they ever get cheap enough, I think I might pick one up.
It'd be fun for like a week, I feel.
Yeah. I love gimmicks. There's just like the more gimmicky it is, I'm just like, give me that dumb looking thing. I want to try. I want to try the dumb thing.
At least you're unashamed about it. You're proud of it.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
You know who's proud? Our Patreon supporters.
They're proud,
I was gonna be like, who's proud of supporting us? But no, you're just so proud. Teddy, can you tell me about them?
Yeah, their names are Aaron C. and Dragons Lucas, and they're amazing. And they supported at the low price of $5 a month at the Ready Set Gamecast Patreon. Is that literally patreon.com/Ready Set Gamecast?
No, it's patreon.com/lastgeek.
Last Geek? Okay.
Yeah, because it's a Last Geek product, and if you can support this podcast or GameMate Corp over there, or just Last Geek in general, there's one that's like a mail tier where I'll send you a letter. So it's great stuff. But if you just want to shout out,
do you want Bryce to know your address? Then let him know. When you fill out the form, be like, here's my address, winky face, winky face.
Maybe I'll send you cookies. You don't know. You'll have to support at that tier to find out.
You shouldn't risk that.
What? You shouldn't risk cookies? We're trying to get supporters here.
What if it's cookies? What if he wants to swat you?
What can we not? Coin. Can we not put that as that's not going to happen?
Oh my god!
Don't give your address to random strangers on the internet, kids.
Unless it's Bryce. Oh man!
Thank you, Aaron C. and Dragon Lucas. If anybody would like to support this podcast and other Last Geek content, go to patreon.com/lastgeek. Cool. This brings us to the topic of the show. We are seeing a lot of games as service style games coming out dead on arrival, namely Fallout 76 and Anthem.
Disagree. Slightly.
I don't think it's
there
dead
are
on
still
arrival.
quite a lot of people playing Anthem. There were not for Fallout 76.
I do not think Anthem is doing well enough to be considered a success by EA or by
not
BioWare.
By their standards.
But it's not a failure either.
I think this is bad enough that we will see BioWare being shut down by EA.
Oh my god, no.
After
Anthem, like after
Andromeda, after Anthem, that's two misses. EA likes to kill studios.
Anthem they're supposed to be around for like 10 years. It's supposed to be a Destiny thing for like a 10-year life cycle of Anthem. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think they're going to work on it and improve.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think they need to do well enough to justify that, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Do you think this will cause a wane in these style of games? Or perhaps we'll see developers take more time to perfect their game before putting it out? Because I think both Fallout 76 and Anthem came out with such big issues that they seem rushed. Were they not tested? Why are they so like full of issues, or like what caused them to come out this way? Is this a problem with the games as a genre, or what?
Well, first of all, before we begin, I hate when games as service is used as a genre. I hate it. Like, League of Legends is a games as service. World of Warcraft is a games as service. Fallout 76, Destiny, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like, these are all billions of different types of games that people lump into one thing as a games of service.
I mean, it's a thing. It's like, this is a game that we want you to, this is your life now. We want you to just play this game.
Yeah, but even that's a little loose, because I don't feel like every game that comes out as a games of service is fully going for that. Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they want you to play that for a long time, but like they know it's not going to be the only game you ever play.
Fortnite, in a way, like, could be argued as like, this is a game as service, but I also don't think it would be, because it's kind of like, I think a competitive game isn't a game as service, because that's going for something differently than like Fallout 76 or Destiny or
I completely disagree. Games of service means to me that a game is coming out and that they are going to support it for a while and keep it interesting and keep supporting it, basically. Like, it's not a game that comes out and then it's done, or a game that comes out and there's like a DLC pack or two and then it's done. Like, they want a community and they want people to be playing it for a while.
Yeah.
With like constant updates. And Fortnite is constantly updating. Like, each season they change the map like dramatically.
I guess like both Fortnite, I guess, I don't know, remember, or its early day. It had such a like kind of slow rise. And I mean, it spent a lot of time as like this different game, and then they just kind of tacked on the battle royale. So that was kind of a weird thing. Apex hit the ground great, no issues with that whatsoever. But yeah, these other games that are kind of this hybrid single player multiplayer games of service mix are full of bugs, full of issues, breaking consoles, and it's like, why is this happening? Is this like, are you putting this game out as a weird like last ditch of like how Fallout 76 even came to be is so bizarre, of like that nothing about this game makes sense for the Fallout franchise. You've taken all of the things about Fallout that people liked and removed them, and we're like, oh, you players, you're the things now.
I still think you could have done the premise of Fallout 76 and it would have been good, but they did not. The premise of Fallout 76 could have been done well, but it wasn't.
Do you think that these issues in this style game is going to have effects down the road?
Yeah, but I don't necessarily... I think, let me see here, the question, will these cause a wane in these style of games? Or will they take more time before putting them out? I think this partially talks about like two things. I think in general, developers will like wait and put their games out when they're ready. For a long time, we had this kind of happen with all sorts of games where people were constantly putting out games that were not finished and people were annoyed by it, right? And eventually, like over the last few years, I feel like we've gotten a lot better about that, where people have delayed and then launched it, and it's like actually really good. Like Breath of the Wild was delayed 1 billion times, and then when it finally came out, it was good, and it was amazing. It was 10 out of 10. There are a lot of games that I feel like have been delayed and then were released complete, right? But I feel like Fallout 76 and Anthem are both indications where this definitely was not followed through. This was not complete. And this was more along the style of like 4 or 5 years ago, where people were kind of dropping games that were not complete. And I think they felt like they could, because they saw Destiny and they saw other games that like launched not fully done, but like, as long as you get a community that latches on, then they can improve. So they're like, it'll be fine. Like, we'll get some people who will like it, and then we'll push through and we'll make it better. Probably to meet like certain financial standards that they were supposed to meet for that quarter or whatever. But I do think, especially after Anthem, a lot of companies are, if they are doing something like this, they are not going to. They're going to be patient with it. And I also think the discussion of like, will these style of games continue, or will they like slow down? That's a whole nother thing, just about like the amount of games that want so much of your time. There can only be so many of those, because there are only so many people, you know?
Yeah, that's they want to be your game, and like they're, I mean, even in like battle royales where we're seeing like, oh, Fortnite's gonna wane just because like people are switching to Apex, and like that's their game now, and people aren't going to be like, I play them both all the time, because you just can't do that.
Yeah, some people will, but it will be rare.
It's way easier, especially with something that's like a competitive game. You want to put a lot of time into it so that you're very good at that thing. And for any game as a service, you're rewarded the more time you put into it. So you're not going to want to, do more than one of those.
Yeah.
Darian, any thoughts on this at all?
No.
Okay.
Solid contribution.
Sorry, I stepped away from the discussion because of something happening in my apartment, so I'm not really.
Darian, can you step into the questions and comments section for me?
Oh.
Sure. Do you want to be a part of the show? Go to readysetgamecast.com/submit to submit a question, comment, or your favorite divine beast for us to read on the show. Fire Turtle asks, she's answering last episode's question. My favorite fairy was always the water fairy on Neopets. She's like a mermaid fairy and very pretty.
Okay.
KH Fan said, Terra is best boy in Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
I like Roxas. Roxas is like complicated and interesting. He just want to have a good summer vacation, and he was on the dark team, but didn't know about it, and he's got a lot of interesting stuff going on.
Roxas is just an emo boy.
Yeah, he's the emo interesting boy who just wants happiness and a good summer vacation.
He's just an angsty boy, and I don't.
You know
like
who I
him
think
that
is
much.
best boy in Kingdom Hearts? Goofy. What a guy. You know, Goofy.
He's a good boy.
Every time the big bads are going to like punch Sora in the face, and Goofy just like it just cuts to Goofy like blocking with his shield.
Damn.
I'm like, oh, Goofy,
Badass, dude.
No, it's dope. Both Goofy and Donald have like badass moments in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Wow.
Yeah, like when Donald pulls out a gun.
Some motherfucker. It's like that.
He does do a pulling out gun type moment.
He pulls out a gun. Sora is best boy. Snow asks, what's your favorite anime and why?
My Hero Academia.
Ooh, great choice. Fucking great show. I love that show. So good.
Okay, what's yours?
Cowboy Bebop. Easily.
I like episodes of that, but in general, like it's too mysterious for my taste.
It is, man. It's very artsy. That show is so good though. The last episode. It's great.
My favorite anime is Black Butler.
Which I would have even known at this point.
Yeah, if you don't know, you're not paying attention.
Yeah, for sure.
Oni asks, what do you think of the future of Twitch and the IRL/just chatting categories?
That's actually a really good question.
Good job, Oni.
I think it's I think those sections need to be policed a little bit more. But overall, I don't think there's anything wrong with a lot of things happening in there. But like there are some things that like is technically against TOS that are happening, and then Twitch, like all the time on Twitter, I'll see like a clip tweeted out from like the IRL or just chatting, and it's like, oh, look at this is against TOS, and it's just like it's blowing up, and Twitch is doing nothing about it.
Can I have an example?
I don't have one off the top of my head, but I do see things like that circulate. But for the most part, just fine, you know.
I think it's a great way to interact with your audience. When like I think Twitch is more like has for some time been more than just playing games.
Yeah.
A partnered stream I know just plays the harp and does paintings.
That's so cool.
And on her stream, she's dope.
Yeah.
And like I don't think she has played a game on her stream ever. So much about what makes Twitch great is the interaction with the audience, and so that category is just that thing. So
not necessarily sure he was talking about that in a way.
Yeah, but yeah, I do get that. Like there are people who just go into that category because they're like, well, I'm not going to do anything else, and it's kind of a catch-all that allows them to get away with maybe more than they could.
It's also a C too, because there's a lot of people in that category.
Oh yeah,
you know, so it's hard to see everything.
I remember when I first started streaming, I would always go. We would always eat right when we started the stream and go under social eating, because people would be hanging out there and try and get some people in the door before we started gaming.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? One of my favorite streamers used to do like half games and half cooking. That shit was great. And then they stopped, and they're gone forever.
Darian, what do you think of talking?
If that's how you want to build your community, which is, I mean, it's just extra interactivity. I don't know what they're doing that's against TOS, but
shaking the booty.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I guess I'm speaking out of my ass. I probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Take it all back.
Speaking out of your ass will get you banned on Twitch.
I mean, yeah, if you can somehow manage that, yes.
But if you are
Farting isn't speaking. It's not speaking at it.
If you put your butt up to the camera, drew a little face on it, and were like, "Hello, chat, how are you?"
Oh my god. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it is rare, and I really can't think of a situation. I haven't seen something like that in a while, but I used to see it more.
I think that there are people who have done more risque things, but Twitch has been more clear about the rules and such, and yeah, there was deals of like, is what they're doing so bad and stuff. So it's just like a complicated section. I think anybody who is doing anything weird is the outlier, and honestly, they'd probably be doing weird stuff under any category. There's people who will play League of Legends shirtless. That
Hey man,
Also, Oni asks, why won't Darian play DMC5? I just don't wanna.
Darian, what games do you want to play right now? Because I tried to be like, Darian, I'm gonna sell you on Red Dead Redemption 2, and you're like, no.
But if you sell Darian on a game though, you gotta sell it to her hard. You gotta be like, this is the thing, here it is, play it. I've already done the system. Here it is, play it section already, because I gave her a year's worth of GameFly for Christmas. Yeah.
So she hasn't activated it yet, but when I sell her on a game, she can activate it and rent that game.
Yeah.
But she's gonna save it up like health potions, waiting for the final boss battle, and then the final boss battle is not that bad, so you just beat the game with 600 potions left.
That's the ideal scenario. Yeah. I'd rather have too many health potions than not enough health potions. Yeah, I don't want to play Devil May Cry 5.
AKA suck it. Next question.
Yeah. Sure. Me-Man asks, what do you guys think about the status of phone games as an industry and their use of trickery to get you to spend money as much as possible?
Not a huge fan. Next question.
I think I like that the loot crate tactics that were caused serious issues in gaming started on phone games, and they're just less police there because iOS and Google don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Right.
There have been many occasions where I try really hard for like a month to try to find a good mobile game that is like what I'm looking for, and that like has no ads, no time gating, and like no microtransactions that you can buy for power, right? I can never do it.
There are good mobile games out there.
I'm
they're
usually
just
looking for something specific.
Yeah, they're just the rarity. And if you're looking for like a full game, you probably would rather play it on your Switch anyway. Like the Switch is the better mobile device, and the only like
Excuse me, sir. I think you're forgetting about the PlayStation Vita. Just kidding, it's dead.
Actually, he was just letting it rest in its grave, and you just like kicked it up a little bit.
Trying to get it up, and then it's like, no, put it back down.
You're like a little kid at a funeral who like doesn't understand. Like, when are they gonna wake up?
Oh, that's so sad, but true. All right, what's the last question?
Also, another Oni says, know any cute single ladies in your area? Kipo.
Not really.
What's Kipo?
It's a version of Kappa.
It's Kappa, but it's got cat ears and a stick in its mouth.
Oh, I thought it was Kupo for a second, like, the shopkeepers.
Nope. Like what the Mughals say? No, that's not what it was.
Give my girlfriend a couple months to come to her senses, and maybe.
What?
This brings us to housekeeping.
Does it?
Yeah. Go to thelastgeek.com for links to the podcast on all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, as well as the video version on youtube.com/lastgeek. If you like the show, please subscribe, rate, and review it on iTunes and Stitcher. It helps us grow and become more powerful.
All right.
I haven't updated this on the Last Geek stuff you should check out. There's a new Game 8 Corp episode. There's a clip show on YouTube. I put a tweet out, a clip of me burping on Twitter.
Why?
Great. Well done.
It's actually very good. You should go to my Twitter and find it and watch it. But yeah, just go to youtube.com/lastgeek and look at recent posts and just watch all of them. It's great. And maybe I'll have more Let's Plays coming out soon. We'll see what happens. But until that happens, maybe people would want to follow my co-hosts on social media. Darian, how could they do that?
Oh my god.
Darian, what's your Twitter?
Dexterity.
Anything else? Any other social media?
I'm on Twitch.
What's that?
Twitch.tv/dexterity.
For a second, I thought you were like, what's Twitch?
Anything else? Any other? Mixer? No. Instagram?
No. I mean, I'm on Instagram. I don't post there.
Okay. Teddy?
Yo, what's up? It's your boy back at it again. All right. Every week, every Sunday, though, on twitch.tv/Teddy Chinaris.
What does this
under
become?
The panels, there will be schedules. I can't commit to exactly a schedule each week because of how school and assignments and my job works. So it's like each week, each Sunday, I sit down and look at the week and I'm like, all right, I can stream these nights. And I'm trying to stream 3 nights a week, 2 at the minimum, but 3. This week, this comes out on Friday, doesn't it?
Friday, yep.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll be live tonight when this comes out. And then the next week, it's usually somewhere around, I try to do like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but like I said, you can never fully tell. That's what I'm doing this week though. So go to the channel, follow it, turn on the notifications, go into the Discord. I always post when I'm going live there, and I almost always tweet it out as well at twitter.com/Teddy Chinaris. And usually it's pretty late night streams. So like the other day I did like 10 to 2. The other day I did like 8 to 2 a.m. So yeah, come on by. We're playing a lot of multiplayer games lately. A lot of fun. And yeah, I love you.
I feel like every time Teddy's on the show, he's announcing a new schedule.
Yeah, feels like it at this point.
Like, okay, some stuff happened. I'm now Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
At 6 a.m. to 7:30 for an hour and a half.
Next time, it's like, okay, things happened, that schedule didn't work out. I'm now on
Only
Wednesdays,
weekends.
Fridays.
Only weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No. Hopefully this is the goal for now. Just 3 times a week, each Sunday, I'll figure it out.
Just follow him on Twitter. You'll see stuff.
I'll tweet it out.
If you want to see my stuff, I'm at twitter.com/lastgeek. I'm on Instagram at twitter.com/lastgeekplays. I'm on Facebook at facebook.com/lastgeek. I don't really post there, but maybe I will
Big
tonight.
shot over here. He's on Facebook. Oh.
I don't know why I still have
Big boy
Facebook.
on campus.
Twitch.tv/lastgeekplays. Maybe if I get more followers over there, I might stream more often. We'll see what happens.
I'm not sure if that's how that works.
Well,
I'm pretty sure you stream to get followers. You don't stream because you got followers.
well, if I get a bunch of followers, then when I'm streaming, they might show up.
Well, yeah, but like you gotta earn that, you know? You gotta build it up.
That's what I do all this work every 2 weeks to establish this great audience and get people to come see my content.
Do it.
But yeah,
Go
that's
follow
been the
me.
podcast. I hope you enjoyed the news and the cats and
Oh, there's so many cats.
and Teddy didn't poop once that we
No,
know
I'm
of.
probably about to. I'm like looking at that bathroom. I'm like, what?
I'm gonna do things to you.
I'm coming for you. Oh my god.
Thank you to all of our listeners, and we will see you again in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Bye.